All right, we'll go ahead and call Marshall County Fiscal Court Special Call Meeting to order March 8th, 2019. First thing on the agenda is the Refuse Board appointments. I think you've got some literature there in front of you. A copy of all this? From the
Yes,
council?
yes.
The appointment process, obviously, Statute 109-115, subsection 6 states that it's a 2-year appointment for the board members, the directors of the 109 district. If you look at the fiscal court, one of the first things that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to amend the fiscal court minutes because the appointments that were done last year for Don Copeland and Charlie Edwards, the fiscal court appointed on a 4-year term. And if you look at that statute, it's not in standing of that statute. So to correct the court's minutes, that's one of the actions that we're going to have to take today. I would suggest we go ahead and take action on those appointments. If you need me to read the minutes, I can read the minutes. But when the court approved Don Copeland, the court approved for 4 years. And if you look at the statute, why don't we just go ahead and read the statute? That way we got it on record. Well, 109-115, subsection 6, except for the initial board appointed pursuant to this section, each director shall serve 2-year terms and shall have served no more than 3 consecutive terms. The initial board appointed pursuant to this section shall consist of 3 directors appointed for 1 year and 4 directors appointed for 2 years. So reading that statute, a 2-year term, but it also says shall serve no more than 3-year terms. And how we got to where we are today is if you look at the 65008 statute, the district by law in that first provision of 65008 was supposed to notify the fiscal court, the appointing authority. That didn't take place. So once the court was notified, which was March 1st of this year, the appointing authority, the fiscal court, took action. So that's why we're here today. So with Mr. Copeland, if you look at subsection 6, 3 consecutive terms totaling 6 years, his term should end June 30th of 2019. There's 2 ways you can look at that. 3 consecutive terms. It also says it shall not be more than 3 consecutive terms. But you look at the totality of the statutes together and all the provisions, 3 consecutive terms totaling 6 years will put him at June 30th of 2019. Is that clear?
So he was when he was appointed then June of 13 then?
Well, he was appointed June 19th of 18 for a term of 4 years starting July 1 of 18. And that's the appointment that's in conflict with 109-115-6.
Because he had already served 2 terms before he was appointed in June of 18? Is that what you're saying?
He was
He had,
first.
but that wasn't the problem. The problem was that he was appointed for a 4-year term.
Correct.
And then the statute in 17 said 2-year term, so.
Okay.
So all you're doing is amending the 2018 appointment to
The
2
2
years.
for Copeland.
Correct.
Copeland.
So they'd run through June 19th of
Well,
2019?
the June 19th is when he was appointed for the July 1. So the term didn't start till July 1. So you look at June 30th being end of the term before July 1. So this term would give him 6 years total,
Okay.
and that is within standing of the statute.
So his term is ending with the revision of the appointment on July 1st this year?
June 30th.
June 30th.
Of 2019. So if everybody understands that, we would basically just need a motion to correct the minutes from June 19th, 2018 of the fiscal court, 4-year appointment for Don Copeland, correct the minutes so that the term is within standing of KRS 109-115 subsection 6 for a 2-year term, but the term ending June 30th of 2019. Would that be?
You're not changing those original minutes. I mean, the minutes are what they are, but you're creating a new.
A new appointment minute? Okay. Does that work?
I mean, today's minutes are going to reflect the change.
Okay. So is there a motion to do so?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. As far as the same appointment, June 19th of 2018, Charlie Edwards was appointed for a 4-year term, and same thing, his appointment needs to be a 2-year term per 109-115 subsection 6. So his term would end June 30th of 2020.
Motion to make that change, Judge.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. If you look at KRS 109-115 subsection 6, Mr. Stokes was appointed June of 17. Let me get the exact. Marvin Stokes was appointed June 7th of 16 with a term of a 4-year term ending in 2020, June 30th of 2020. If you look at the 109-115 statute, subsection 6, it's a 2-year term. That term is an expired term, and an expired term, and you have to look at the totality of the statutes and all the provisions. The first provision of KRS 65008, and I'll just read that. Read that statute for you. You guys have the statute, correct?
Yep.
Should be aware of it. $65,008, expiration of a term of appointed member of governing body of authority. The first provision, at least 60 days before the expiration of the term of office of an appointed member of a district's governing body, the district shall notify the appointing authority of the forthcoming expiration of the term of the appointed member of the district's governing body. That provision was not met. So the 109 district failed to notify the appointing authority. So if you look at 109-115 subsection 6, as we've stated earlier, it's a 2-year term, so it's an expired term. As the appointing authority and acting under good faith and reasonably within the statutes, I have the authority to appoint that expired position or term, and I have up to 60 days to do so. So that term actually should end June 30th of 2020, and I am appointing Steve Southern to the expired term of Marvin Stokes, and his term will be a 2-year term ending June 30th of 2020. The appointing authority, if you look at all the provisions of these statutes, and if you look at the email from Wednesday from council, it lays it out, and we've even discussed shall. You can't omit the first provision and just look at the second provision of a statute. I'm looking at it in the totalities. There's an expired term. I'm the appointing authority, and I'm going to make the appointment. Obviously, that is with the approval of the fiscal court. That is by law. So that's the situation with that appointment. I'm going to make that into a motion. Before I do, did you guys get to talk to Mr. Southern?
Yes.
Okay. I'm making a motion to appoint Steve Southern to the expired term of Marvin Stokes, and his term will be a 2-year term ending June 30th, 2020. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion. I mean, like you say, the statute, you can't just look at one section and ignore the other, so make second to that motion.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. We're going to do a roll call. I'll vote aye. District 1, Commissioner Lamb.
Aye.
District 2, Commissioner Spraggs.
Nay, and I'd like to explain. This has absolutely nothing to do with Mr. Southern. I think he would be an asset on any board in this county. I'm reading the statute 65008 in its entirety, and my interpretation is the action wasn't taken, and Mr. Stokes will fulfill the term.
I don't understand what you're saying, the action wasn't taken. What action wasn't taken?
No action was taken in a 60-day time period upon the expiration of his term.
Right, just so that I can be clear, in the email that council sent out on Wednesday, I agree with it. There's a lot of statutes that talk about the totality of the statutes, and you're omitting the first provision, and you understand that that's a violation of law.
I do understand that, from what I've been told, that the appointing authority was not notified, but taking into consideration the entire statute, that's my determination and that's my vote.
Okay.
So let me ask this then. We mentioned number 1, but we didn't mention number 2. Are those not in direct conflict? Are those in conflict with each other, or are they not in conflict with each other?
Are you talking about
The
65008?
So if you just go by 1, but you don't go by 2?
Well, here's my opinion. No court of law is going to omit the violation of law in the first provision. They're not going to just look at the second provision and say you do not have 60 days. The appointing authority, if you really look at it, the appointing authority didn't even have the opportunity to fail. If you read that section that Kevin's talking about. So once the expiration of the term is identified, which is March 1st, immediately it ended up on the agenda. The appointing authority were taking action, and we have up to 60 days to do so. And that's within good standing, within the statutes.
I just want to, I know I threw something at you guys this afternoon about probably 20, 30 minutes ago, because I worked on it all morning. Just want to make sure that every member of the court affirms that they've had enough time to read over that and consider it.
I have.
I do not, listen, I'll be the first, and I think we would all admit, I'm not an attorney. What I'm having to look at is to rely on our counsel and then anything else that came in, such as the stuff from the state. And I did not see in any of that it mentioned that if we don't vote, that a nay vote is breaking the law. Are we saying that voting no on this is a direct?
That's not what I would say.
I vote nay.
Okay. So that's a tie vote. With a tie vote, I believe it's 15 days.
15 days.
15 days. Are there any other questions pertaining to this? On the agenda, we have payment of the bills for the park.
A stack that hadn't been turned in before court. on
Stuff
so-
that we signed just
yeah,
now.
nothing special in there, just a stack from Parks.
Motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Nope. And the action's already taken. So there was a first and a second, and there was all in favor. All those in favor, motion carries.